Okay, Clint, you made a comment during a group hangout that had some major repercussions. Let's take a look at that.
I mean, the physical component. Typically, the girls that I have dated are very athletic, slender. So, I mean, that's just the type of mold that I'm attracted to. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so, and like she said, she doesn't like redheads. So,
Here we are.
so here we are.
It's the music.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so that appears not good. So the way that conversation led off was the day after the wedding. We're sitting in bed and we're having open dialogue and we were communicating well at that point. She's just like, here I am with the complete opposite person that I thought I was going to be with. And she's like, did you think I was going to be like I appear? You probably normally date like really thin women and this and that. I'm like, yeah, normally just like adventurous, like outdoorsy, like kind of how I am. Well, this is all brought back to this moment. And she started the conversation prior to this by saying, Clint normally likes thin, athletic women. And I was just playing off of that. So the way
So
that
did Gina start that conversation?
started the
Wait, I'm asking
conversation.
them, did she start the conversation?
I believe the way it happened is that Gina did start off by saying, like, I'm not attracted to Clint and he's not attracted to me.
Yeah, I mean, the foray, the door was opened up where she was saying thin, and I was just searching for words of like, okay, how do I play off of that also?
Aries, what's your thoughts?
Hey, me and him talked and they did have that conversation. But I think maybe for Gina, hearing it from him is one thing, but maybe him saying it in front of everybody else, it
That's what I
hit
was gonna
different.
say.
It hit different for her. So that's maybe caused like her reaction.
That's what I was gonna say, because it's one thing if you've had a conversation in private, but it's another thing when that conversation is in a group setting. So I understand that you were simply describing what you typically are attracted to, but not only did this comment offend Gina, it offended all of the wives. Let's take a look at this.
I never expected to hear that.
Yeah, you probably don't vocalize it.
Girl, it was an outer body experience.
You don't vocalize it in front of your wife, people, and also in front of 5 curvaceous, beautiful women.
Right, yeah.
We were offended for you, and a
I
little
was
selfishly,
definitely
I was offended.
It being a room full of curvy women, did it in some way kind of hit you in the gut, make you feel some kind of way?
I would say so, and I think the way it hit me like that is because, you know, I am on the thicker side, and my biggest fear was walking down the aisle and, you know, Mac hoping that I was some girl that weighed like 100 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, that's not me, and that was my biggest fear. And so at that time, to hear Clint say that out loud, it hit me in my core of what I potentially thought my marriage with Mac would be like at that point.
Yeah, do you understand how it was triggering for a lot of the women
Absolutely,
in the circle?
and it wasn't intended for that. I was
Yeah.
just giving context as far as like what I've typically dated. It wasn't meant to like besmirch anyone or belittle them. Felt like it was a room that I was comfortable with in saying that, and I wouldn't say that to anybody to hurt their feelings.
So now that you're here,
Yeah.
how would you rephrase what you were meaning to say in that moment that did not come across properly?
Yeah, I wouldn't even bring up anything about figure whatsoever.
Okay.
I don't think that was a time and place for it at all.
Okay.
So yeah, I would, if I could rewrite the way it went down, that's 100% the way I would lay it out is I just normally date very adventurous people and pretty much leave it at that.